The implication is you have to hear right in order to do music. You have to train your ears to conform to music that's out there. But of course ears can't be trained. They're already experts at receiving oral information and sending it to your mind. Your mind can be trained to give meaning to what you hear. That's audiation, not just the sounds your ears perceive, the meaning you give those sounds. Music is an oral art anyway. Everything about learning music is ear training. You don't train ears, ears train you. When you listen to music, you hear the same stuff most everybody else does. I'm putting ear training on the chopping block because the implication is you've got stupid ears and you're going to have to work hard to train them to hear right. Your ears do a wonderful job of sending you all the information you need. Learning music can't be reduced to hearing harder like you're going to the ear gym. The second impossible thing in music education is muscle memory. Just think if you tried to have a conversation using muscle memory. It's not going to go well. So why do we train to play an instrument by trying to force your muscles to move a certain exact way over and over again without making any mistakes? Instead, we can play similar to the way we speak. Sure, we can play and love music composed by other people, just like you might recite a poem. But you can also create and improvise, not based on forcing your muscles to move a certain way, but based on versatility and flexibility, based on how expert your body is at relating what you hear and think with how you move. Try playing from a place of trusting yourself, considering possibilities and implementing them, rather than from a place of punishing yourself or from feeling like you're stupid because you can't play something. Sight reading is impossible because there's already a word for it, and it's called reading. Have you ever read a book twice? Sure, you might come away with a different understanding the second time you read it, but the act of reading is the same. Why is it that in music we treat reading something for the first time like it's the Holy Grail? And then we look at great musicians like Jimi Hendrix or Paul McCartney like the evidence of their genius is that they wrote great music without being able to read music. That's not their genius. The genius is the music itself. They weren't great in spite of not being able to read. They're great because they were unencumbered by the assumptions that put sight reading first, even above the music being read. If you're not conversing in a language, you're going to have a hard time reading it. If you're not performing music, you're going to have a hard time reading it. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes permanent. Practice doesn't make anything. It's like the word diet. The word itself doesn't say anything about how and what you eat. Your piano time should be playing. And for the tricky stuff, it should be figuring things out, finding solutions that work. Those are real goals. If your goal is to practice, you can put in your 10,000 hours and make the same mistakes in the last hour as you did in the first. If your teacher tells you to practice, your question shouldn't be how many hours. It should be practice what and practice how and why. And it ought to be something you've demonstrated an understanding of in the lesson. There's no such thing as perfect, but even if there was, practice wouldn't make it.